Yeah, everyone. My name is Shilpa, and I welcome you all to the CPP India user group community. Thank you for joining in for today's session. This community is for all those people who are interested in learning the C++ language or are looking to upgrade their skills or knowledge about the language. It provides you with a platform to learn, discuss, or showcase your work done primarily using the C++ language. Before we begin with the session, I would like to provide some information regarding how you can interact or connect with the community. You can connect with the community by joining our WhatsApp group and Discord channel. You might have already received an email with all the links when you had registered for this session. In case not, please reach out to me, Dheeraj or Vishal, and we can help you out. These sessions are recorded and uploaded on our CPP India YouTube channel. We will inform you whenever a new session gets uploaded on our CPP India on on our groups, and hence I encourage you to join these groups as you will get the latest updates related to the community over there. Are you still not convinced that you should join our groups? Let me give you one more reason. We do post questions on our Discord channel from time to time, wherein you will have to guess what is the output of the program or what's the problem with the code snippet. In this way, either you would be learning something new or you would get the revision of one of the concepts that you have learned. So do join our groups to get your weekly dose of C++. The last thing that I would like to mention is that this session, you will get a feedback form. Please spare the few minutes to fill this form as your feedback will help us to improve these sessions. That's it from my side. Now let's begin with the session for which we have all joined in. Today we have Vishal here who will give some insight into Regex in modern C++. Vishal has more than 6 years of software development experience. Currently, he is living in Bangalore city and working with CircuitSutra organization. Without any further ado, let me hand over to Vishal. Vishal?
Yeah, thanks, Shilpa. I hope everybody is able to. Am I audible? Hello?
Yep.
Yes, Vishal.
Okay. So let me share my screen first. Uh, so just let me know when you got this screen.
Yeah, the screen is visible now.
Okay. So Regex is a very useful tool, and if you are not familiar with it, I may afraid that you are missing out on 20 to 30% of productivity. And in other words, it's its own language. If you see from a different perspective, it has its syntax and all those things. We will see that shortly. And C++ does also provide some facilities around the regex, which we will discuss in this session. So let's start. And I know that some of us do not have the main idea about the regex in general. So I also covered that. So, okay, so let's begin with the first content that what we are going to cover in this session. Okay, the first is the introduction of regex, the basic syntax, the anchor point, and the quantifier, and all those sort of the jargons, I would say, because it's just simple concepts. And we will see all of this with individual example, and after that we will also see 2-3 examples, combine all the concepts. And after that, we'll see the C++ utilities, standard regex, regex exceptions, errors, and the regex search, regex match. And then we see the iterator, regex iterator, regex token iterator, and the regex replace. And at the end, we will see the use cases, combine all of this we have, seen in about topics. So, okay. So first is the regex introduction. So, I mean, we will see cover the what is regular expression, character classes, quantifiers, group, alternation anchors, and we will see individual example plus combined example of all these concepts. What we will not see is other flavors of regex. I mean, regex available in many flavors. What we are going to see today is ECMA flavor, which is quite popular and default, by the way. And we will not see advanced concepts like lookarounds, escape sequence characters, and some other flags. So what is regular expression? So it's something like this: cryptic text used to search, validate, or replace the text with precondition. So I will come to these preconditions, but if you see this regular expression, it really looks cryptic. I mean, if you want to parse this thing, because it contains the syntax, I mean, hyphen, oh, so sorry, slash b and these angular bracket and round bracket and all those things, but it isn't scary as it is. I mean, if you once go with the basic concept, it is really easy thing. And there are some tools available which we will also discuss, and I will provide you the demo that how to use those tools and what to look in those tools. So this is the basic thing, a character class. So what does it mean by character class? So when you say a dot meant any character except new line. So if I go back to the slide, we do not have used a dot here, but if you see, all these things are syntax. I mean, hyphen b, the round bracket, then square bracket, question mark, all these things. So if you encounter anywhere the dot means any character except new line. And same goes for other things. Let's say forward slash w, and w means word, and the D means digit, and S means the space. So word contains A to Z in small, in capital letters, and 0 to 9 and underscore. And hyphen D means you are about to pass a digit, and same goes for space. But there are some negative, I mean, opposite thing of these things. Let's say you do not want a word, but anything except a word. So in that case, you will use the capital W slash capital W, which means not a word, slash D, which means a digit, not a digit, and same goes for the white space. But let's say if you want to specify a character range, or some few characters like A, B, C, so you can specify the range in the square brackets. So this will match the A, B, or C. And same goes for the negation. This is the negation. So this will match not A, B, or C. So any character except A, B, C. And you do not have to write all the character. In that case, you can use the hyphen in between. So it will see this sequential character. So A to G will be the character which are going to match. So let's see a small example. So this is the our text A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I want to match all the characters. So I have used negation and the range. So what I mean by this pattern is H to Z, but not, which means you can select all the characters, sorry, all the letters, which is not between the H to Z. Okay, moving on to the quantifiers. Quantifier means the repetition. If I say star, which means I am going to repeat the previous character or previous capture group. I will come into the capture group. What is capture group? Whatever was the previous, repeat it 0 or more time. And if I mention the plus, which means one time or more time. In case of question mark, that means optional. The whatever, I mean, match earlier will be optional, 0 time or once. But let's say if you want to specify a range in which it should match at least minimum time and to the maximum time, so you can specify the range using the curly braces. Okay, so again, we will see the example of quantifier. So let's say this is the complete sentence, this is that, and we want to match the complete word. So as we seen in character class, you will use slash, sorry, hyphen, slash W and plus. Plus means repeat it one or more time. So it will select all the characters, but not spaces. If you see, spaces is not selected. So all the words are selected. So this is the quantifier that you will mention how many times you want this repeated. Plus means anytime. I mean, 1 to infinite. What I mean by more is 1 to infinite. Okay. So this is the capture group. Capture group, when I say sorry, a round bracket, which means the capture group means I want to store the whatever captured in the let's say example. Okay, so this is the text. This is that the is repeated twice. So let's say if I match slash w, and after that I use space. This is slash s, which means a space in between, and whatever I have captured over here, I have to use it further. So this is back reference, I slash one. So this is the back reference. You can use slash one, two, you can mention the capture group. So this is stored actually. So is captured and is being stored here. So you can back reference it using the slash and number. So this is the capture group. This is the non-capture group. Let's say you want to club some things, but you do not want to back reference or replace. In that case, you will use non-capture group. So question mark and the colon. And as I've said, you can use the back references, and how many back references you can use will depend on the flavor of regex you are going to use. And all these two things we have already seen. This is the range of character, and this is the negative range of character. But this is the most important concept, the capture group, because we are going to see this a lot of time in examples and the utilities provided by the C++. Okay, alternation. What if you want two or more thing to be matched? Let's say this is that. So you are specifying that capture this alternation, that means logical or capture this or that. So is not selected, space is not selected. Any of these two word will be selected. Okay. Moving forward, anchors. Anchors are positions that where you want a capture. Let's say if you are use a negation without the range, that means you want the capture of that word or character at the start of line. And same goes for dollar, which suggests that match this pattern at the end of line. You can also specify the boundary hyphen b and the not a boundary. This is the word boundary, by the way, not a sentence or line boundary. This is a particular word separated by the space. So this is the anchor point, which is basically a position where you want to match. Okay, so considering the example, so this is that here, this is repeated twice, but we want this if the sentence start with the this word, I mean. So in that case, I've used negation, which mean start of line. So match this pattern at the start of line, not at the word boundary. Okay, so let's see example, whatever we have seen a concept so far. Uh, this is the example I showed you in the starting slide. What is the regular expression? So what does this is extract the time in 24-hour format. So if you see, this is the range, means I want 0 to 9 any character. Okay, alternation 2, I mean time can start with the 21, 22, right, in 24-hour format, and it can also start from the 0 to 9, or this is question mark 0 or 1. So 11, 12 o'clock, right? And I want that to be captured at the boundary, word boundary. What I mean is I want both the side space thing. And you can also specify if it's single digit, that's let's say if you want 2, you directly mention the 2, but if you want any digit 0 to 9, you will mention hyphen sorry slash d. That means any digit. This shows the alternation. This is 0 to 1 optional, but this things is optional, and this is the word boundary. So okay, see, if you take the example, let's say these are the complete text, meet me at 12:12 colon 30. This is the valid time. 12 o'clock is also a valid time. This is valid time, but there is no space in between. See, because I have mentioned that word boundary slash me. So all this thing is also because 80 is not a minute, right? Minute could be 0 to 59, not even 60. So which have been extended over here 0 to 5, and last digit could be anything 0 to 9, and this is the colon. So this expression match all the times in 24 hours. So if I provide this text and this pattern, it will extract all the valid times from our text. So this is the precondition. So if you see, you want a word boundary, you want 0 or 1 to be prefix, you want, I mean, 2 or 1 kind of timing. So these are the precondition in regex. You can also use the regex in your code browser. I mean, almost up to date VS Code, Sublime, all the code editor, Visual Studio, all the code editor provide the regular expression. In case of any variable or function you have to search throughout your code base, you can directly use Control F and try to search it, right? But what if you want this variable after I mean used after this function or used before this function, or some preconditions that it should be some other text should be prefixed by or suffixed by. So in such cases you can use the regular expressions, and it will save you a lot of time, but at the same time regular expression is costly as well, which we will see. So till now, does anyone have question? Although I've gone through a bit quickly, but if you have any question, I'm open for it. Anyone?
Oh, Vishal, I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah. Here in this range section, you mentioned 0 to 9. So maybe I missed or something. So this last digit, is that inclusive or exclusive?
It's inclusive. Whatever range you are see here, it's inclusive.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So does anyone any other questions? Okay. Then moving forward, this is the second example. Here, let's say you have given a paragraph and you have to find the repeating words. So in repeating word, what you do is you first capture. Dot means any character except new line, and you want one or more time repeated, and you want word boundary separated by the space, and space could be one or more thing. If you see here in between those two words there is single space, but if you see the and the, there are 2 to 3 space over here. So this will capture the first word. I am back referencing it, so whatever captured over here should be the same. So in that case we will get the repeating word. So it will not, I mean, match all other word, like was is not repeated, right? After this space, what we have mentioned over here. So just is repeated twice, dining room is repeated twice, and we have also seen the hyphen and the space is covered. Bottle is repeated twice. So this is how you can extract the word. This is in general concept. I mean, this regular expression does not have any concern with any languages. So if you learn regex once, you can apply it anywhere. I mean, whatever language you are using, Java, Python, whatever. And even if you are not using regular expression, you might have used the grep tool in Linux, where it also use the regular expression internally. And you can also specify the patterns over there. So it's kind
Uh,
of, yeah, see, Shilpa.
Vishal, one question.
Yes.
What if there is no space between the two repeating words? This regular expression won't be able to match, right?
Correct. In that case, you have to, I mean, provide the range. I mean, let's say there is a no space over here,
Yep.
just and just is, I mean, directly combined, and you want to match those things. So you have to build a pattern like it has 4 characters, and there is a no space, like capital S over here, right?
Okay.
So all this pattern we have seen character class. So if there is no space, you can use hyphen capital, sorry, slash capital, capital
Okay.
S. In that
Yeah.
case, it will eliminate the space.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So does anyone have any other questions?
Vishal, could you please repeat that part? How this regex is actually helping us to find the repeated words? I mean, just considering this regex pattern.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So if you see, this is the capture group, right? Round bracket is capture group. Dot means capture anything new line.
Okay.
So here is invisible slash n. If you see from computer's perspective, here there is a new line at the every end of line. So what
Right.
we are seeing, the capture it at matlab, accept new line, repeat it. I mean, it will capture the single character at a time. So we are capturing all the characters, no matter what is it, capital, small, right? And one or more time, repeat it. So we have captured it. Now we want a word boundary. So this is the word boundary. We want one space in between. So we have mentioned slash s, and after that we also mentioned plus. That means the whatever space we have captured could be multiple time, one or more, right? So here there is a more space. It's not single space. I guess it's three space. And whatever the capture group we have captured over here can be referenced back. I mean, let's say we have first captured the just over here, so it will be referenced back.
Okay.
I will come into this more when we see the C++ utilities, that
Mhm.
uh, how regex works. Although we will not go in that detail, but I will explain you all the regex patterns, so you will get to know that how it is working.
Yes. Okay. And one more thing, like at the end of the line, there is this word just, and at the beginning of new line, there is repeated word just. So this will also get captured, right?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, so there are two repeated words. First
Hmm.
one is occurred at the end of the line,
Okay.
let's say line 1,
Hmm.
and second occurrence of the word is at the first position of new line.
Yes.
Next, yeah.
Hmm. In that case, it will not capture because dot means anything but not new line.
Mm.
So if you want to capture such thing, what do you have to do? You have to use slash and w, right?
Okay,
And you have to remove this word boundary because that's a line boundary in that case.
right. Okay, yeah, understood.
So that's the thing you have to, I mean, tamper with the pattern.
Mm. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
thank
Uh, so let's see a live demo. But before that, what I've shown you is a quick thing, and you do not have to remember. You can go and follow this link to practice. And if you want to really learn a regex, it won't be of more than 2 hours effort. And if you follow this link, it will give you intuitive one by one. Let me show you the another tab. Is able to see my screen now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you see, this is the very good tool. Actually, this is interactive tutorial. There are, I mean, 13 to 14 the lessons, I guess 15 lessons, and you can learn all these things step by steps. And whatever you have learned, this is a very small theory and directly a practical kind of things. You can directly use the text over here. So you can learn those things very quickly. It won't take you more than 2 hours to learn the whole regex. And if you want a practice problem, there are also a practice problem. So this is the great website I got to know. So, and let me open the next one. Yes. So another thing is this tool. So this is the online tool 101, regex 101. And we have already seen this pattern matching the time 24 hours format. And this is the text we have provided. And this was not match time even if it was valid because there was no space. So let's say if I add the space, it will select it. It will give you a total time it take to create the data structure. When you provide any pattern to regular expression, it will first create the internal tree or finite automata kind of data structure for this regular expression and then start parsing the whatever input you have provided. So before using it to the any language, you validate your regular expression pattern over here. You provide some testing data, and it will give you all the explanations that this is the first capture group, this is the alternation you have used, this is the quantifiers. What does it mean? I mean, question means 0 or 1 time, right? And it will also give you information regarding the match. So this is the match, so this is the full match, this is the group match. Like we have used two capture group, first angular bracket, sorry, round bracket, and second round bracket. So it will provide you a capture group as well. In case you have forget that what does it mean by -b, so in that case you can directly get a quick reference over here. And very good thing that I like about this tool is you can directly get the code generated. I mean, let's say you want to use it in Python, you can directly select over here Python, and it will give you the code. Although this is not yet available for the C++, but I also provided the example where you can just replace the regex in my slides and you can reuse it. So this is the thing you have to focus. Mainly you have to focus time, because regular expression is sometime if not written correctly, in that case it's very expensive thing. So if you see this regular expression is taking a 1 millisecond, that is a huge time if you are using this in for loop. So there are some cases where regular expression is a bit expensive, which you have to take care about. And I am not covering in that part of thing in this presentation. Okay. Let me get back to the our slides. Let me go to the slide where we have stopped actually. Yeah, so we have seen how much time it takes. So this was the actually link 101 regex. It gives you code generation, match group, quick reference, explanation, everything that you know. So you do not have to remember anything. Yes. Okay. So let's start with the machinery provided by the C++. And everything start with the include regex. And what we are going to see is ECMS script flavor here. So I'm mentioning this again because when you change the flavor, the way you write the regex and some rules and syntax related things also change. But this is the common and most popular one. Okay. So here, this is the regex object, and I am providing a raw string literals. This is introduced in C++11. And this is also part, this is not a capture group. This is the part of raw string literal. So if I say this first three character, capital R, comma, and the round bracket, both the round brackets are the part of raw string literal. So whatever I am mentioning in between, let's say this slash is the regular expression pattern. And here I have mentioned a slash, but I have not mentioned anything like W, S, word boundary, anything. So that means this is the error. In that case, when you construct this regular expression object, it will throws an exception of type regex error. So it, I mean, you can capture it and you can also print it, what was the error, and you will also get the type of error. So here I have mentioned the escape sequence, but I have not mentioned escape sequence character. In that case, it will also print the error and also give you an error code that you have the error in escape sequence. Okay, so next is regex search. So here, this is the input string, and if you see, this is the common pattern, 3 character, colon 1, again 3 character colon a digit, 3 character colon a digit, and there are some noise like uh, space, arrow, I mean semicolon, less than, etc. So regex search can be search any pattern and the submatches over here. So how does it do? First, you declare the regular expression object and you specify the pattern. So if you see, I have two capture group. This is the first round bracket and this is second round bracket. And I'm mentioning that slash w repeat anytime, one or more. Again, find the colon in between this one, and again see the slash and w again, and at the end check for the semicolon. So out of all these patterns, three patterns, it will only match the pqr colon 2, because only in that case we have the semicolon at the end. So I have passed that regular expression to the regular search API, and also mentioned the S match, which is a specialization of match result. The sub match stand for the S match stand for the sub matches. So if it succeed, if it find this pattern that whatever you have mentioned, so it will give you, I mean, fill all S match completely with the size, with the strings, with the prefix and suffix. So if, and there are some list, if you mention a 0, which give you complete match, entire match. In case of index 1, it will give you first capture group, which is this one, -w plus. In second, it will give you second capture group, which is a digit, which we have mentioned over here. And if you want a prefix, that everything before your complete match, so complete match start from pre, so everything is this space and abc and everything, which is over here, this is complete prefix, and same goes for suffix. So you can extract all those information from this text individually, or you can also loop through all the text. So does anyone have question in this?
Hi,
Yes, Matt.
Vishal. Can you,
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, can you give the more information about the prefix and the suffix? Like, I can understand what m of 0, m of 1 can do, but I'm not getting what m of prefix will do.
Okay. In that case, m of prefix will return the string when a match is started. So match started over here, P. So whatever before that string was the prefix. So if you say start from A to last space, start from A to last space from this complete string is the prefix.
Okay,
And in suffix case,
okay,
the first semicolon we have mentioned that capture it, I mean match it, right? So except the first
yeah,
semicolon, starting from last two, which is over here, and completely
mm,
at the last less than is the suffix. So in simple
okay,
word, prefix means all before first character match, which was the P, and in suffix case, all after the last character, which was the last first semicolon.
okay, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Vishal, in this case, suppose my string is a combination of, let's say, 10,000 character or something,
Mhm.
and so in that case, this prefix will have all the 10,000 means prefix will have all the characters which are before my pattern, and suffix will have all the characters which are after my pattern, right?
Correct.
So I think this M will be size of M will be very huge in terms of bytes.
That not necessarily true, because in that case it can also give you a pointer. So if let's say you are not using this string, it will give you a pointer, which is this one, right?
Okay. Okay. So it will give a pointer, right?
Yes. So yeah, you are absolutely correct, but that depends on the implementation, because C++ standard define only behavior. So however it is handled internally is completely a different thing actually.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. But
So,
most
from
likely you are not going to use regex search, which is, I mean, for very few use cases there are for regex search, because as you say, this is also a costly thing.
yeah, okay, okay.
Okay.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, hi.
What if there are multiple matches? Then what will be in the prefix and the suffix?
Yes, great question. In that case, a regex search will only return once it get the first match. That's it. If I copy this pqr colon 2 semicolon at the end, it won't match over
Okay.
here. It will return from
Okay.
here.
Okay. It will match in the first one.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Come on, guys. You can ask anything. I want more engaging audience actually. So this is not kind of strict, and do not be afraid to fail.
Vishal, is it possible that we can have a regex object as a dynamic object, like using
Uh,
this operator?
y- yes, I mean you can do that, but this is the costliest part. I will come to it in, I mean, subsequent slide, and I will also provide the alternation. I mean, what you can do anything else.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So any other questions? Okay,
So
then
if
we'll, yeah, yeah, go on.
or once, and you have it say in the string 4 more times, and I want to match.
Your voice is bit too low. Can you speak bit louder?
Better?
Your voice is too low. I mean, can you speak bit louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry. This PQR, if it occurs 4 times,
Yes.
says how would I continue after the first match?
See, let's say if PQR was first over here, but there was no complete match, like what we have mentioned over here, right? So in that case, it won't consider it. It consider only when this complete regex object will match. And after that match, it will extract the sub information, sub matches, like first match, second match, etc. Hello, is it clear? I mean, I've given you correct answer or
Okay.
what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Okay. So yeah, moving on. We do have regex match, and if you see, this is the validation of email address. So I'm expecting the string, and let's consider first scenario. This is the email address. This is the prefix part. There is some symbol over here. There is also some dot over here, although I mentioned that dot means any character except new line. But in that case, you can specify that this is not special dot that we use in pattern by escape sequence. As you, I mean, provide in the printf, right? If you want to print the slash n, what you do is you use double slash. So here, if you do not want to use a dot with a special meaning, this is a regular dot matching. In that case, you specify the slash. This is called escape sequence, as we call it in printf and all those stuffs. So over here, I have used static. Why have I used static? Because let's say, as I told you, if you use this function in some loop, and every time it parse the pattern, it will create its own internal data. It will be a costly. I mean, it will give you a lot of performance problem. So in that case, if you are using this object within that function, I would recommend you to use a static. So this object will be, I mean, constructed only once, no matter how many times you are calling the functions. So let's first discuss the pattern we have provided. So first is slash w and one or more time. So any character one or more time till at the rate. So over here, and again slash w plus one or more time whatever we have matched earlier. So y mail completely. And again, this the dot, but if I directly put the dot over here, which means I want to match any character except new line, but I do not want to mean a special meaning of dot. So in that case, I have mentioned the slash and then dot, which suggests that this is the normal dot. Now we have a non-capture group. Non-capture group, because I am not replacing it or back referencing it. So I am instructing a regex that you do not have to store this. I have just used it, this bracket, to combine com or in. So this will be a, I mean, this is not necessary, but if you provide, this will be a lightweight. I mean, you will get slight performance boost. So here at the end, after the dot, I'm expecting .com or .in. I have used alternation. Any of this would be fine. So when I mentioned the complete email address, which was matching this part, it returned true. You see, I am not using any match object or etc. Although I can, there is overload of regex match, but here I am using regex match for the validation part. I'm validating the email ID. So whatever we have pattern mentioned over here, if it match, it will return true. So in next case, if you see at abc.com, we do not have prefix over here. This one is not there. So in that case, it will return false. Simple as that. So technically, we have validated any email address in single line. But the irony of this code is even this small function produced the 30,000 lines of assembly, even if with the optimization 3. This is the drawback of the current regular implementation in C++, which will be rectified from C++23 with the Hena Diskovia. I guess I'm pronouncing the correct name. She is a Russian and researching on the regular expression and other things. And she proposed a draft which will give you a compile time regular expression. So here what we are doing is when this function, I mean, so what is it called? The construction of this complete data structure and regular pattern will be at the runtime, right? In this case. But the when from the C++23, if standard accept the Hena's draft, we will get a compile time using template meta programming. So you do not have to bear the runtime cost. Only have to bear the runtime cost of regex match. This will be complete compile time. This parsing, regular expression parsing and construction tree like something data structure. So this is current drawback. So if you are currently using the regex, I would suggest use the string related functions as of now. If it is not that common, I guess, I mean, let's say you have a complex thing, right? That what could be, I mean, anything could be over here, anything could be over here. We want to extract all those things. In that case, you have to use regex. But if normal string validation, you should use string related functions. Okay.
Vishal?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
This 30,000 lines of assembly is for C++20, right? But there are other languages as well, such as Python and Java, which are providing this regex facility. So do you have any idea what is the time complexity or the timing analysis of those languages? Are they using are they like this much inefficient in terms of regex?
Regex is always regex. When you use regex, you have two problems actually. Technically, first is the performance.
Hmm.
But if you have complex parsing, then in that case, let's say you can use regex. But if you have simple thing like validation kind of thing or extracting one to word from the string or sentence, in that case you use a normal function whatever provided by the C++ standard. As
Okay.
far as the performance constraint, internal engine, like I'm saying the ECM script, right? There's the
Okay.
internal engine and flavor, which almost same, and you will get, I mean, very little, what is it called, performance problem or kind of things in other languages.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what I can ensure you is from C++23, in C++, it will be really fast as compared to other languages because
Yes.
your complete data, because this is the main cost, right?
Yes.
Creating a data structure internal and then using that data structure passing this string whatever you pass. So this will be, if this will be compile time, in that case you just have to bear the searching and sorting kind of things. I mean, whatever algorithm internally this regex match is using. So
Okay.
in that sense, C plus would be a much faster, but that we have to wait for it actually 2-3 years. yes, more.
Okay. And do we have similar thing available in Boost libraries or something like that, or it's only
Uh,
C++ using?
Yes, it's also available in Boost, although most of the C++, these utilities is come from the Boost actually. So yes, it's available in Boost. So currently you have three options if you are want to regex in C++. First is the standard one that you are seeing STD, I mean scope resolution operator. Second is the Boost, and third is HANA has the GitHub page where
Okay.
it has developed internal engine of regex, the compile time. So let's say if you are using C++11, you can use the HANA's library. I will share the link. I mean,
Yeah.
in the Discord group, you can
Yeah.
use that library
Oh,
still with C++11.
okay. Please do share that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So moving forward, I mean, regex match is also matching the string and search is matching the string. Then what's the difference, right? This will be, I mean, a simple or intuitive question, I would say, if you learn first time regex match and search. So let's see it with the one example. The string will be the same, the pattern will be the same, right? But over here, if you see this regex match, although I'm passing all the parameters, input, I mean match, regular expression pattern, everything same in regex match and search. But what is the difference is regex match will give you a false result because regex match only works on validation part, which means if the complete strings is matching with the pattern, in that case it will give you a true, written true. Otherwise it's false. But what regex search do is it search for the pattern whatever you have provided, not the complete string. So in that case, this give you true. M.ready means yes, it succeeded in finding the pattern, and the first pattern is PQR, first capture group. Sorry, this is the PQR. So if we go to the again regex match example here, in validation part we are validating a complete email address. If you see, this pattern is completely validating this whole email address. In that case it is returning true, in this case it is returning false. So match is like you employ match when you want to validate something, and search has very limited scope. Rather, I would suggest you to use iterator, which we will see in subsequent slides. Okay, so do anyone have any questions on this difference between regex match and search?
So Vishal, this means that if we have passed the email string as, let's say, is this xyz at the rate ymail.com,
Mhm.
then regex match will return false.
Uh, if you consider, let's say, let's go to that slide. So is this something, or you are mentioning a space in between, right?
Right.
In this case, we have not, I mean, used a pattern which suggests a space,
Okay. Okay.
hyphen slash, or sorry, slash s, वगैरह. In that case, it really fails
Okay.
because it will match whatever you're given. Complete expression should be matched.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, the, is there any other questions?
No, I think Vishal, we can move ahead.
Okay. Moving forward, regex iterator. Uh, yes, so this is again same string and almost the same thing over here. Pattern, regex pattern. What is the thing is here I am mentioning the vector of S match, sub matches. This is the specialization of match result, right? What I have shown you in earlier slide. And same goes for regex iterator prefix with S, which means sub matches. I am parsing the, I mean, complete string with iterator. C all means here, C all X means C begin, C end, the const iterators, right? So I am parsing whole string. You can directly use input dot begin. I just use this macro to sort the code in a half. And I am parsing, uh, passing the regular expression pattern. So this is the begin iterator we are defining, and I'm giving it to the vector. because you can initialize the vector with iterator, right? And this is the end iterator, which is just empty one, and it will create a match of all the patterns on this. So if you see here, all this thing, 0 provide complete match, 1 provide the first capture group, this one, this is the second capture group, but all the matches iterator will match. This is the first match, this is the second match, this is the third match, and again all those matches contain sub matches. This is the first capture group, this is the second capture group. So if you see, the regex iterator provide you detailed information about the matches and sub matches. And in this case, I mean, this is what is it called, too much parsing. But let's say you do not want a too much parsing, and most of the time what you want is you have some text and you want some words or some patterns within that text with some preconditions, right? So in this case you can use token iterator. So what does it do? It won't give you too much detailed operation, sorry, information. Rather it will give you direct match. So if you see, I have used the vector of string rather than s match. It will directly give you a string because you are passing the string, you want the string, right? So 90 to 80% of the time is going to use the regex token iterator rather than regex search or regex token iterator. So in that case, again, I have passed the input complete string with the iterators. I have passed the pattern. And what is the extra thing is 0. 0 means I want a complete match. So if you see a full match, which means is 0 means a complete match. This pattern is completely matched. So you will get a 3 pattern. But let's say you want a single capture group, this one first. In this case, you mentioned first over here. If you want second, you mention the second one over here, and it will give you I mean directly string to the first capture group and second capture group. So this is a bit I mean compact code, and it may take time to understand, but each iterator contain only a single match, that too directly a string. So 80 to 90%, as I said, 80 to 90% we are going to use regex token iterator for parsing. Okay. The one more great thing about the regex token iterator is, like, if you want to remove what is it called, the noise, as I said, you want only these matches, right? And you do not want any other things like this arrow, this colon, and this less than operator. In that case, what you have to do is you have to just mention the -1, which means match that are not part of sorry, parts that are not matched. So all those things like space, this arrow, this one, this semicolons with spaces, this less than, everything will be in inverted. So this is the except, I mean match except anything else that you have specified using the pattern.
Okay, so this will give all the information which is not matching this
Correct,
pattern.
correct. That too direct into the strings. Let's say
Okay.
you are getting some data from the server and there are not useful data, right? And you want to see the data that is not useful to you. In that case, you can directly use it. I mean, this is very compact code, right? Two line of code, if you say correctly. Three, including
Yes.
this pattern. Okay. Yeah. So this is the one more utility you are going to use a lot of time. As of now, ignore this part. So first focus on this transform pair function, which accepts string, not focus on this one. And again, I use static over here. I do not want reconstruction every time I call the function. And now the what we have seen in back reference is used for replace as well. So for example, there is two pattern ABC colon 1 PQR colon 2, and we want to replace this one with the space or let's say nothing, right? So in this case, what we see, transform pair, I mean, which means one and 2, remove this one. So in that case, we have mentioned that first capture group slash w, any character, repeat it once or more time, capture it. I mean this round bracket. Also see the colon in between this one, and again capture a digit, right? So you construct this regular expression pattern, pass the text regular expression. Now this $2 represent that this is the capture group, this first capture group, this is second capture group. Now you want only second capture group, eliminate the first capture group. So in that case, you what you do is you just mention that add the replace the capture 2, matlab whatever the pattern was there, replace it with the capture group 2. So this one whatever captured over, so if you see in first case it captured first digit, that is 1. So for this complete wall pattern it placed the 1 over here and then colon, and for this complete set it again captures second thing which was 2 over here, so it, you will see more examples. This is for demo purpose. In that you will get to know, I mean clear some things. Okay, so these for replace, and these for, I mean there is one more thing. Let's say don't copy thing that aren't mesh, which means is you want the copy that is not match. So these are the flags you can pass. There are a lot of flags, and you can, I mean see under the constant, and you can also see, I mean a lot of things that isn't match. I mean what is it called, there are many constant you can use to specify the behavior of replace. Okay, and the moving forward, let's start with the examples first. And but before that, let's see uh, another overload of regex replace, which is like, as I've said, if you don't want these things, right, or wagera wagera, I mean the arrow space and this semicolon and less than. In that case, what you do is you provide a stream operator, iterator, sorry, with the cout, and you provide the string, and you provide the regular expression, and you say if any one of this match, I've used the alternation in between all this character, right? So let's say space match, this hyphen, less than, greater than, everything, replace it with the space. I don't want that. So I mean for whole string, if you don't want multiple character, you can replace it with single go. So this will directly print to the outputs like ABC, all the noise will be removed over here, you see. And the, if you do not want to print it, you can directly specify the iterator of any container, let's say vector set, and it will directly start appending into those containers. So if you see, this line of code is replacing and printing in the same line, that two multiple characters. So this, I mean this, how much is regex is powerful, but at the same time it's costly as well. But with C++20 we'll get, I mean these improvements. As I said, this append the result directly to the stream or container or existing thing as well. If you are want to append all those things to the existing, you can directly specify the iterator over here. Okay, so start with the use cases. This is the simplest one, and we have shared this in social media as well. Splitting a string with delimiter, right? So first focus over there. So this is the complete path. Let's say root home Vishal, and this is the delimiter, like forward slash, and you want to split this thing. Well, I mean for this there will be empty string and first, second, third. So you will get a vector of string like this. It will split on the delimiter. You can specify delimiter in multiple character as well. For that you can use regex token iterator over here, and what you are mentioning is -1. That means give me the old string that is not match. whatever we have, this is the matching string, right? Whatever the pattern I have provided is directly to the regex. So this is the match: first match, second, third match. So this was not match or root home match. So I have constructed complete vector specifying -1 that give me all the things that is not match. And if you see within 2 lines, uh, we are able to split the whole string. So this, by the way, the solution. We have shared the question on the social media. I hope this is, I mean, not that much complex. I mean, this is very less code. Okay. And the moving to the next one, trimming the white space from the string. And this is again a function. And we constructed a pattern regex using a static qualifier. So we are using the S plus. That means repeat the space one or many times. So there could be a single space between the digit, or there could be a multiple space, or there could be more than space. I mean, you are not specifying that it will be a 2 space, 3 space, or anything, right? You want all the digit, eliminate all the spaces. So again, I used replace, pass the regular expression and data, and we got the trimmed string. So this again solution to the another question that we have posted on social media. This again, I mean, two-liner, technically one-liner, because this is going to be initialized only once. This is, I mean, clear, right? Does anyone have any question on this?
No.
Okay. This this I mean, lot of code. So finding lines containing word from a file. Okay, let's go step by step. The first, what do we want? What we want is lines containing. So this is the file. So this is the example. Consider this as an example. This one, this two, three. There are 4 lines, right? We want all the lines that contains word 1 or 2. So let's say one, this is containing first word, this is containing second word. We don't want all those things. So you are, I mean, passing the file name, you are passing the, what is it called? The words that you want a complete line from. Okay. So this is the function, accepting the file name as a string and the vector of string as a words. So this is the vector of string as a word that contains in the line. So we are prefixing. So this is going to be a bit complex thing, but if you pay a close attention, it won't get you a problem. So if you see, I want at the start of line prefix. Dot means repeat any character except new line. Star means zero or multiple time. So there could be a possibility that space is, I mean, line start with the space, right? So in that case, zero or multiple time. Question mark, which means whatever match ahead will be a zero once. Now I'm providing double slash because I'm using the string literals. This is not raw string literals. This is normal string literals. So I'm specifying the S over here, and that's why I have to use double slash to say this. This is the escape sequence character hyphen sorry slash b, which means the word boundary. So this is going to be a prefix of our prefix pattern of our word. Same goes for the suffix pattern, and the complete pattern will look like this. The whatever here mentioned the words 1, 2, 3, we are using OR operator, join. So this is the complete join function. I've used accumulate, right? And words starting with. So I'm not going to the detail because this is just joining all the words you provide with the this delimiter or or alternation. I mean, so at the end, this will be a wall pattern 1, 2, 3. So this is prefix, this is suffix, this is our words. Okay. Now,
So I just have one question.
yeah, sorry.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
In this, if the word itself contains backslash b,
Okay.
the line contains, right? So if you instead of if this is coming from some file and I could have just written in that file, like in the test.txt,
Hmm.
I and this is backslash b.
Hmm.
Um, not there, but in the words, like
Hmm.
vector of strings, words. So inside that, if I say backslash b, then that's going to throw off this regular expression, right?
No. Why? Because this backslash, I'm mentioning double backslash because if you see in printf, if you want to, what is it called, print slash, you what you do is you use double slash. So that's what I did, because if you combine all those things, this double slash will be eliminated and will be converted as interpreted as a single slash. If you see over here, and single
I'm
slash with the b.
not talking about that part. I'm talking about the uh, join function that you've done on the words in the next line.
Yeah. Yes, in that case, there will be a bug. Yes. So that's a nice
So
observation. Yeah, I would say.
is there some way of getting a escaped regular expression given?
Uh, See, all these words are passing user, I mean programmer, right? Developer. So they have to take care of it. But let's say, is there anything that conflicts with the regular expression syntax or grammar? In that case, you have to introduce one more function to check the input words.
Hmm. Okay.
So if input words contain any regular expression grammar, then you have to use backslash one more time.
Yeah, it would have been good if there was some way of escaping the word automatically.
Yes, yes. That's really great observation, and but I missed it. Yeah. So in this case, I mean, there will be a problem. Yes, in this code.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So starting from input file, we are opening our input file, and we are preparing the container for result, and line we are reading the file line by line completely using getLine and using the regex match. So now if you see, this time we are opting for complete match because we have used anything except new line repeat. So anything will be prefix. So this will be prefix. These space is space. This will be prefix. Now our word boundary start slash b, and our word will be in between. So if contain one or two, which we have captured over here, one, two, three, anything that we have passed over here. Again the word boundary, and anything after that line, although I have terminated that line, which also shown that over here dollar, which is end of line, because as I've said, this is anchors. This is start of line, negate means, and dollar means end of line. And if even if there is anything else, still it will match the wall line, which we have mentioned over here with this regular expression. So in this case, if the complete line matches, only in that case regex will return true. And if return true, we will just simply m plus bracket, we want that line. And after passing all the lines, because we are reading the file line by line, I'm returning the result. So I mean, this is that not much complex code. So I guess this is it. Does anyone have any questions on this? By the way, I'm using move. So this is a great use of move, because once lines is read, line contain all the dynamically allocated memory and all the data. And once this loop ends, we don't want that. So why do we, overwrite it or reallocate it? So I've used move, directly acquiring the resource of these lines. Any question?
No, sure. I think we can go ahead. We are running out of
So
time.
yeah, that's
So
it. I mean,
one thing I actually wanted to, so the question that was there, what if we had words which is coming from file and it has that backslash b? So the question I think so asked by Sriram, I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you are asking that you are reading this word from another file, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I
So,
said, this function will be same. You just have to add one introduce one more function, which is
mhm.
checking that if these words contain anything regular expression grammar.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, just wanted to cover that. Like, if for that purpose, actually, there are multiple libraries that are available for this input sanitization.
Uh,
You can probably look into that because if you are taking if you are reading from file raw, so probably then and if it is like some critical operation or something, it's better to use some sanitization library which does all this for you. So that's just a suggestion.
yes, yeah, exactly. That's one way of it. And let's say some of these words contain inappropriate grammar that is not valid. So in that case, what are you doing is you are combining all these things, prefix, all the words and suffix. Now, words is containing illegal grammar, right? The syntax is not right up to the regular expression. In that case, when you construct and the regular expression object, so it will throws an exception over here. So it will return from over here. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
I,
Yes.
yeah, what I've showed you in the first slide, that regex expression, if the grammar is illegal, so at the time of construction of regex object, it will throws an error, sorry, exception of type regex error. With, I mean, it will also give you what kind of error it is. So in that case, also, I mean, it will be helpful if it throws an exception.
Yeah, that's also there. But
Yes.
just covering like input sanitizing, if you have some critical operation that you're doing, so like
Uh,
that library would be better because uh,
yeah, you are absolutely correct, because whenever you are doing critical I mean operation, then in that case you have to check for all the corner cases, because if it throws exception, you might lose that data. Yes,
or it might introduce some security bug also. So,
yes,
so
absolutely.
basically just saying that. Yeah.
Yes. So any other questions? I guess not. So in that case, thank you. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Vishal, for the wonderful session. I hope everyone has enjoyed the session and learned something new. It is said that we should do at least one good deed in a day. And I think here's your chance to do that good deed. Dheeraj has already shared the feedback link on the chat. So let's start our weekend by filling out this form. It will really help us to improve this session. Um, that's it. Thank you.